Hello.
Welcome to the Serenity Podcast. My name is Beth. Ooh,
You're a little shaky.
Just bumped my shelf with my knee. And I'm Witty Knitting on Ravelry and Instagram.
I'm Tracy. I'm Phoenix Fire on Ravelry, Phoenix Fire _knits on Instagram. We're back after a week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Especially for this time of the school year. It's been a whirlwind.
How is it? I'm 3 weeks in and you're 1 week in and you still get out before us. It's so unfair.
I'm 2 weeks in.
Okay, well then I'm 4 weeks in.
But Ask was only 1 week in.
Yeah.
And she only went to 2.5 days. Oh, because she got sent home sick on the second day of kindergarten. It's fine. It's fine now.
What was he was late on his first day of kindergarten because he had gone to a birthday party the day before. I probably shouldn't tell this on the internet. They fed him a lot of strawberries and they had a bouncy house and he got violently ill in the middle of the night. Strawberries everywhere. And he was blaming his sister for it. He said, I didn't feel well. But Rena just kept saying, just keep bouncing, Holt. Just keep bouncing, Holt. And now I'm sick. So we let him sleep late. And he felt better when he got up. So we got him ready. He went to kindergarten, but he was late his first day.
Oh, that's funny.
Between the two of us, we have a history of the first week not going well for kindergarten. Hopefully just be with one kid.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy and I were just talking about before we hit record that this is like not our time of the day. Like morning, I'm like, woohoo, I have all the energy in the world. And now it's 2 o'clock and I'm like, skipping nap time today.
3 o'clock here. My after teaching for 20 years, my brain starts winding down about 3. This is as far as I can go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. So much to talk about.
What do you want to talk about first?
It's almost fall. It's almost knitting weather, sweater weather. It's football season, so I wore my college football shirt. All right, Beth? You want to see Wilmington? Football. And if you are from North Carolina, you know why that's funny. We don't have a football team.
Oh.
So the back of my shirt says undefeated since 1947. We're really, really good at the football.
That's funny.
Yep. And my son plays football and his first game started last week. Finally, they had a slow start to the season with games getting canceled. Next week is their homecoming game and they're playing against the school where I teach. So that's going to be fun. So I get to go be that teacher who your kid's playing on one team and then your students you teach are on the other team. So I'm going to be that old lady who's like, I just want everyone to have fun. Be good sports. Don't hurt each other. Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. I'm looking forward to it. Hope it cools down.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean in your world when it cools down?
Well, it's been in the low to mid 80s, and that's been nice. But I would prefer it to be in the low 70s, upper 60s, even better.
That's where we are.
That's where I would love to live.
Oh.
Till you hit your winter, and then I need to come back. Need a temperate place.
You know, there are lots of days you just don't go outside other than getting to your car and getting out of your car into the next place.
Because temperate climate.
If you stand outside for too long, you'll die.
I hear you say that, but I don't know what that is. It doesn't.
But I always
Mentally,
think,
I'm processing it, but it's still not making a lot of sense.
I always think of you the first like really, really, really cold day when you get outside and you take a breath in and it kind of hurts and just kind of sticks there for a second. I was like, oh, I want Tracy to experience this just once.
So mean. Why do you treat me like that? I'd like to hurt my friend too.
I think it would be really funny.
I had a college professor at UNC Wilmington, and she took her kids to DC for the first time, and it was winter, and she said they got out of the airport, like they walked through the doors of the airport, and her son stopped and just started to scream. And she thought something terrible had happened, and she said, "What was wrong? What's wrong?" He's like, "It's so cold it hurts." And she's like, "Oh my God." She wasn't from North Carolina. She was from someplace colder, but then her kids were raised here. And so she's like, I was so embarrassed. So that would be me. I'd probably stand there and scream. I probably need to. I probably need to release some endorphins by screaming too. Probably for the best. This school year's been off to a great start, people. Oh boy. But it was actually really, it was nice. I know you guys aren't here for the weather, but it was really nice this morning. It was it was like 57 when I first got up. We got up early and I put on my cat sandwich sweatshirt. I was so excited. We went out to breakfast at Panera, went to the salvage yard because we were looking for a small door. I was just telling Beth the joys of living in an old house where nothing is standard size. So when your door starts to sag, you have to hit the salvage places and look for an old door that you can cut down to fit your door. That was so nice. I had to take it off by 9. It was too hot by 9, but at 7 it felt so good. Should I tell them about the door?
Absolutely.
So we ended up with a solid wood door, which my husband was not excited about because he wanted glass in the door so we could see out into the garden. And he picked out one that had 15 panes of glass. So he's on one side measuring it. I'm on the other side holding it still. And I said, but this doesn't have, we have to buy glass for this. And he's like, it's got glass. No, it doesn't have glass. There's like wood. Somebody's taken the glass out because it was brown on my side. And he said, no, it's glass. And I'm like, well, I guess they painted over it. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. So come to find out, it was not glass. It was mirrors. 15 tiny mirrors in this door. And they'd painted over one side so it was brown, and the other side 15 mirrors. And the volunteer who's running the shop today came up and said, oh, that's the last door we have left from that hoarder house that was over on Spring Street. I was like, so they wanted to see 15 times more junk in their house whenever they looked at this door. My mind was blown. We did not end up getting it, but he really wanted to replace every single mirror with a piece of glass, one at a time. And I want this done next week. I mean, he wants to painstakingly replace and refurbish. I'm like, I want this done next week. So that's where we are right now, replacing a 20-year-old door. We're at that point where we rehabbed the house 20 years ago. And now it's time to redo all the things that we did when we moved in 20 years ago. Starting with the door to the yarn palace.
It's an important door.
It's a very important door, and it is sagging, and I can see light coming around it, which is not what you're supposed to see with a door. Not very well insulated when you can see the light coming into the door. So it's probably time, but it's been a good door. I was so frustrated at one point trying to find a door small enough for out here that I was like, let's just build the wall up around it and have it a hobbit door, like a little short hobbit door, and then we can replace the steps with a slide, and I can just slide out into the garden, and that would be fantastic. I don't know how I would get back up. You have to walk around the house and come into another door, but getting outside would be so much fun. You put a leaf pile on the slide. I might need to rethink this. Okay.
I'm all for it.
next time we record, I may have a new solid door or a tiny hobbit door with a slide. I'll let you know.
Tiny hobbit door has my vote.
They did have a really cute one. I think it was for a cellar or something, but it was tiny and adorable. I was like, this is it. This is it. Iron doorknob. I was visualizing it. Oh, so you guys aren't here for my hobbit door, but you should be. Are they here for the knitting? Are they here for the knitting?
I'm not sure they're here.
Or to see what you bought this week.
Just kidding. What I bought? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Have you been good?
I didn't bring anything that I bought. I know some things arrived. Oh, I got some knitting needles that I needed for my sleeves, for my sweater. I got a new book for the girls because have you ever heard of there's a book called Lulu and the Brontosaurus. They're like very beginner chapter books and they're illustrated and they're really clever and funny. And like,
I have to look that up.
It's like just on the verge of like inappropriate so that kids love it. Like, you know, using words like stupid and but and yeah. So, you know, my 5 and 3-year-old were like, oh. But of course, I got the books originally because my middle daughter, or my middle child, her name is Lulu. And so I was like, oh, this book is called Lulu and the Brontosaurus. Like, I don't need to know anything else. I'm just fine. And it turned out to be really funny. And the kids, like my little kids, love it. And then I brought it to school and read it to my 2nd graders last year, and they loved it. So now I had to buy them all. So now we just got Lulu Walks the Dogs and started reading that last night.
Aww.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. I miss little kids. My kids are great at the size they are now. They're out of my house. Paul's at the gym. He's at the YMCA. Brenda's going to pick him up on the way home from work. So it's been nice and quiet, but I do miss when they were snuggly and they like to read together.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. I do talk a lot during the week now.
I bought a microphone and I'm using it. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but it's been a game changer.
Now that I had one last year too, and now that I've had a microphone, I don't know how I ever went without one. It's crazy.
I'm gonna start doing karaoke too.
The really fun thing too is we all, like in my hallway, we all have these microphones and they were provided by the school, so they're all the same thing. And if you forget to turn yours off and it like clips to your shirt and you're walking down the hall and someone else's speaker is on, you can accidentally connect to their room.
Awesome.
So last year it was after school one day and I was like hearing this weird sound and I'm just like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, the speaker's on. And I looked and I'm like, okay, it's not mine. And I don't know how I figured it out, but I figured out which teacher it was. And I called their room and I'm like, hey, I think you're hooked up to my speaker right now.
That's hilarious. We have that problem with we have TVs and we can connect our computer to these giant TVs wirelessly. And you have to be careful to hook up to your own TV or you start projecting your screen, your laptop screen in somebody else's room down the hall.
Oh yeah, we can do that too.
That's been an issue. Somebody had her TV on and was just sitting at her desk quietly, and then I think someone was doing a Zoom meeting, and so all of a sudden she said she heard a voice yell, "Can you hear me now?" Oh my God, yes I can.
The stuff of nightmares.
It's true. It's so true. Oh yeah, it's been a fun school year. It has been quite a fun school year. I'm going to show off my knitting. It is a hot mess right now. Let me tell you that. because, well, I can't do ribbing in the car because I'll get car sick. And we were going to be driving for about an hour and a half. Excuse me, going to the, I got your throat thing. Look at that. How did that happen? About an hour and a half in the car on the way to Greensboro and back looking for that door. So I've got 4 needle tips in this sweater right now. So I put the ribbing on hold for a minute and I picked up for the sleeve because I couldn't knit the sleeve in the car. And now I've got a lot going on. So hold up. I got it. I got this. Right. I'm closer to my camera than usual. Sweater.
Oh, that color is so pretty.
The color is Miss Babs yells at what a skein, and every time I show it, it makes me turn green. How is this happening? I don't understand. I hope I don't stay green. It's yells at what a skein from Miss Babs in the Smooches colorway, and it's really cute, but it makes me turn mint green. Not in real life, just on the screen. I picked up the sleeve in Panera. I got a couple of inches done in the car.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got, I think I've got like 6 more rows of ribbing. So it's coming along really nicely. And I really hope it doesn't make me turn green when I wear it in real life. So I'll put that away because it's really messing with me. Let's see if I change colors again.
Are you still green?
I still feel like I'm greenish. Maybe not. Maybe I was looking at the blue tub behind me. My tub of extra yarn.
It also
Yeah, what? Oh no, this is the leftovers from the rest. Well, no one else knows this story. Only the people from our table at ZK. My mom found a bunch of yarn at Goodwill many years ago, like 10 years ago, and not just like yarn. She found indie dyed yarn for 69 or 99 cents a skein and brought me a trash bag, a literal trash bag full of yarn. And this is all that's left over of my Goodwill yarn haul. And there's 2, yeah, there are 2 little of the round, like the gobstopper balls that I got from Beth on top to make it look cute. That's what that yarn is. Yeah, I think that's what I was looking at, and that looks green. I think I'm back to normal. Am I back to normal?
I mean, you look good. You were really green when you first put the sweater down. So
It's like a Martian. Is that offensive to say?
I don't think so.
Martian. Yeah.
Only to the Martians. I have finished the body of my sweater, my Nuna sweater.
Oh, I'm in love with your sweater.
I am too. I really love it. So I just got, I feel like they're here. I feel like I brought them down. Maybe I didn't. But they're the Chowgu twist shorties, like where you can get the little combo.
Oh yeah.
2 different cord sizes and then the 2 sets of different tips. So you can use this and make a 9-inch circular or a 10-inch circular or an 11-inch or a 12-inch, depending on which cord and which needle tips you use. So I bought the size, these are not the ones for this, but I bought the size I need for the sweater so that I can start with a 12-inch circular when there's a lot of stitches. And as I decrease, I can change to 10 or 9 or whatever. So that's my plan. Those needles just got here yesterday. So I need to get these stitches on those needles because this is the point where I just put a sweater down. And it's not even that I don't like knitting sleeves. It's that if I get to like a transitional point in a project and I don't do something about it right away, I just move on.
I get it.
And I don't know why I do that. And I love this sweater and I want to be wearing it this fall and I can just picture it. And I'm going to put it on because I love it. I was telling my students about it yesterday. Because in one of we did this little spelling pretest thing and one of the sentences was about how a dog chewed up my sweater or something. And they're like, oh, is that real? And I was like, no. And they said, oh, because the sentence said favorite sweater. They're like, do you have a favorite sweater? Who has a favorite sweater? And I'm like, I do have a favorite sweater. It's the one I'm knitting.
But it's always the one I'm knitting for me.
Yeah.
That is amazing. What a good fit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Girl, you could not have done any better. That's amazing. And if you lived here, you'd be done. Sign that thing off.
Yeah, with my double layer.
You'd be able to wear it twice a year.
A lot of this is was three colors at once. So there's like so much yarn under here. Yeah, it's cozy.
I was looking at my little fall dresses and my sweaters and thinking, I need to move someplace where I have mostly cool weather.
I live in the perfect place to be a knitter, in my opinion. Because, oops, it's really stuck on something. It's really sweater weather most of the time. And even in the summer, you know, if you're outside and having a bonfire or camping or something, you usually need a sweatshirt, even in like July.
I don't want to learn to drive on ice and snow. I'm too old to learn something new.
I mean, if you just retire and come up here,
That's true.
which is the opposite of what most people do, then you just wouldn't have to do anything or go anywhere on the bad weather days.
I'd be a hermit and I would love it.
Because they clean up. Like once the roads are clear again after like a snowstorm, it's just fine. It's only like a small window of time when all the snow is falling and all the things are happening, and then they clear the roads and then you're like back to normal.
That's our problem. We don't have anything to clear roads. There's no point. What a waste of money.
I've thought of this so many times, and I don't think I've ever asked you. So do your cars not like rust at the bottom and like around the wheels and stuff?
No. When I was at UNC Wilmington, I was right near the beach, and when I lived there, we had to keep the cars clean because they would rust. But that's because of salt water and runoff from salt water. We have not had that issue from snow.
Well,
we always do take our cars to get them washed after we've had a snow.
So this is from all the salt they put on the roads.
Yeah, we do pre-salt the roads before bad weather.
Okay.
But then in the south, the kind of snow we get is usually like really icy. So we get like a layer of rain and then freezing rain and then the snow. So that's not really all that helpful, to be honest, because you just got this. You got the snow sitting on top of a layer of ice. Anyway, it's a mess. I have a coworker who says he lives at the bottom of a really steep hill, and he'll tell people when they come driving up when we had bad weather, you're not going to make it up this hill. You need to turn around. And they'll be like, I'm from and insert whatever state up north. I know how to drive on this. And then they make it halfway up and start sliding back down because it's not the same. It's not the same type of snow, apparently. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what I've heard. Really is not quite the same. Supposedly. Whatever. More knitting.
Yeah, I cast on this new sock.
I didn't think I had seen that before. What is that beautifulness?
This is Lavender Lune.
I thought it might be.
And this is, she has the Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a club.
It is a Zodiac club, but she brought some of her old clubs to ZK. Is that where you got it, or did you buy it out of her shop?
I bought it from her shop, but it's not like a subscription.
Yeah.
They're just listed when she
decides to do it.
This is the Leo.
Beautiful.
I love it. And it's just doing this wild micro striping thing. And it came with a bright blue mini. I don't know why I don't have that with me right now. And I haven't decided if I'm going to use it or not. Oh, I just love it. And this is on her cashmere base, so they're so.
That's a nice one.
And then those cat sandwich fibers socks that I was working on when we did our last.
Our crossover.
Yes.
Our Fantasy Island crossover episode. Oh, the viewers weren't here for that. I couldn't remember the word crossover, so I said, it's like when the Love Boat would land on Fantasy Island, and they looked at me like I had two heads because they were both too young to witness that amazing Friday night when the Love Boat would land on Fantasy Island. And now I feel 200.
Sorry. But I knit on that sock while we were talking. And then for some reason I felt like we were in the car a lot later that day. Mm-hmm. And I just got a ton of knitting done on that sock. Because I just started with the toe, and I'm just gonna knit until I feel like doing a cuff, and I'm gonna put in an afterthought heel. So I just feel like I'm going and going and going. But I think that must be either at work or out in the car because I couldn't find it.
Oh, I was worried you're gonna say you lost that sock.
No, I would be
lost forever.
It's so cool.
If you cut in your afterthought heel and used Heather Bunniphish, our crossover friend, used her afterthought heel pattern and used a mini skein, not the main color, you could get 2 entries and our knit along next month. Just saying.
I mean, that was the pattern I planned to use anyway.
See, there you go.
And whips count, so.
Whips do count. Other things people should be thinking about as they plan for next month. Yep. But we'll talk more about our upcoming knit along at the end. But I'm really excited about it. I've cast on a sock since then too. Isn't this pretty?
Yeah. Is it black or is that a dark green?
Black. It's black and witchy green. And oh look, there's a little ghost because it's close enough to Halloween, right? And hot pink.
Oh, it looked red to me.
That's hot. Yeah, hot pink. I can't make it look hot pink without turning green. I pulled this out thinking it's one of my oldest skeins of yarn too. I pulled out thinking this will be good socks on for Christmas. They're supposed to look like watermelon, but they are pretty Christmassy. So I'm really excited about them. They are by a dyer who doesn't dye anymore, so I'm not going to say much about that because you can't get this yarn. She's one that this used to be a thing where dyers would start to get really, really popular, and then they would offer a club, and then they would not be able to fulfill the club, and then they would implode. That used to happen quite often, I feel like. That was this yarn. That was the downfall. I had so many skeins this yarn, loved it. And then on her second club, it was a crash and burn kind of thing. She's a really good dyer, so I hate that happens. These are gorgeous. This is my mom's favorite color green. I'm pretty sure they're for her, but the more I look at them, I'm like, wow, I really like these socks. And our feet are almost the same size. I put in waist yarn for the afterthought heel, but it really could go either way at this point.
Do you do a lot of knitting for Christmas?
Not a whole lot. My mom likes hand knit socks. Well, actually, my mom, both of my in-laws, so they kind of take every other year, they'll get a hand knit pair of socks. My mom, she gets a lot of hand knit socks because she trades me hand knit washcloths for them. I don't like to knit with cotton, so she'll give me a big stack of washcloths. I'll say, here's some socks. And I usually make my sister a pair of slippers, and I always give, I just said not much, but yeah, that's quite a lot. I always give both my niece and my nephew a hand knit ornament. They've kind of gotten, and it's gotten to the point now where if I stop, my nephew will ask, where is this ornament? So got to keep that up. So yeah, I guess I do. I knit a lot for Christmas. Yes. And I've set a Google reminder for the 1st of November to remind myself that I need to knit one more panel for my Christmas tree skirt. I thought it was going to be fine. If I cut 2 panels out, it would still wrap all the way around, and it does, but it's just awkward. So that's on my to knit list for Christmas too. My kids are home, in case you heard that. That's really, that is all I am knitting right now.
Okay. I have one more. And this has, so ever since our knit along ended, I've just been like doing whatever I want to. And I'm like, oh, this is so fun. This is what a hobby is. I've been doing it wrong, which we all know. So before I went to Alaska, remember how I talked about the bubble cardigan by Stephen West and how I had all the yarn wound up and
Yes.
that? Okay. So I have, I'm
so excited.
I'm so excited too. So I have this is like my plan, because I have this feeling that when this is done, if it turns out to fit the way I think it's going to, that like instead of scrappy blankets, I'm just gonna always just have like a scrappy sweater happening.
Mm.
So I have all the colorways written down that I'm going to use.
Oh my God.
I weighed them and wrote down how many grams, and then I have a line for, I'm doing only one stripe per color. Yeah. Or one color per stripe, however you want to say it. It's never going to repeat. So I have how much it'll weigh after the body stripe, and after sleeve 1 and after sleeve 2. Because I'm ridiculous. And then I have it all wound up.
Show it quick, my brain's beginning to hurt.
I have it all wound up.
Wow.
And inside the labels, the colorway name is written on the labels or on like a sticky note. So this is stripes 7 through 22. This, I'm not very far, but this is it so far.
Oh my gosh. It's gorgeous.
And I am in love. I love it.
Wow.
It's all Stress Knits yarn. And it's the better part of 2 years worth of Advents, and then just some other ones I had around. And then I think like every 6th stripe is a really like dark saturated color, because so many of them are like the lighter purples and pinks and greens and stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's so much fun. So this ridiculous I-cord.
Hey, you lost me at I-cord, but I like what I'm seeing. I'm not going to knit that, but I like what I'm seeing.
It's like West is a creative dude. Like, I don't know if he comes up with this stuff or if he just finds these obscure techniques somewhere, but like this is this. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side and pick up stitches and knit another one of these. And I'm not done with this chunk yet either. And then you pick up all the stitches and knit a chunk of the back, and then you join it and knit back and forth. But I'm going to knit it in the round and steek it. You ever done that before?
I have not. I was about to ask you that same question.
No, I haven't.
That's our Instant Pot. Sorry.
I haven't, and Kristen from Woolenvine is making a bubble cardigan, and she is knitting hers in the round and then is going to steek it. And so that's where I got the idea to do that. And I think she's going to like post more details about it and stuff. So.
My next sweater is going to be a steeked sweater, so this will be exciting. Yeah? We can do this together. I'm excited about it. If we weren't already doing a scrap along, we could do a steek along. Steek and scrap along.
No scraps.
Yeah, I'm going to do a Julie Knits in Paris pattern called the Gaudi cardigan, and it's inspired by Anton Gaudi and his architecture and use of color. And I'm taking Holt and a small group of students, fingers crossed and knock wood, to Spain next summer 2022. And my favorite part of Spain last time I went was basically everything that this man designed. We went to so many places that were Anton Gaudi's designs. So I have picked out a skein of cat sandwich that I think is the exact colors that I saw at Parkway. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll hopefully have it started for next time, but I am really nervous about putting all that work into a colorwork sweater and then taking a pair of scissors up through the middle. That's a bobcat. That's not our spot.
There's a lot going on in North Carolina.
Happening. I'm like in a little island of calm amongst a lot of chaos. There's dinner happening and construction work happening, and I'm just sitting here with my knitting.
What's for dinner?
We're having roast chicken and roast sweet potatoes, and I don't know what else. I don't know if that's what the kids are having. Rena can't eat sweet potatoes. Rena has an allergy. The internet can get to know that my kid has an allergy to sweet potatoes. But yeah, she's got home. She works at the grocery store. She's got home with a giant bag of groceries. She can't go to work without bringing home a bunch of food. So I have no idea what's in that. I don't know what the kids are going to eat. But whatever it is, it's loud. All right, I think that wraps up what I'm knitting, what I'm planning to knit. And you said, yeah, that was it. You have any finished objects? I'm bereft.
No.
Finished objects. Nope.
It'll be a while.
Yeah. I'll hopefully have that sweater finished soon. Can show that off, but not in the nearest future. So do you want to talk about our knit along real quick? And then
Yes.
I'll go help these people make dinner or pave a road or whatever.
Now I already forgot the name of it. We are having a Scrap Happy Minithon.
That's it, the Minithon. We need some confetti. Get a confetti cannon next time. This time's got to clean that up though.
I have dinosaurs.
I'm so jealous.
They're still here. Hello, Tracy! Use those a lot in distance learning.
Amazing.
Okay, so the whole purpose of our Minithon is to use up your partial skeins or minis or whatever. So you have to start with less than a full skein.
Yeah, we didn't put an amount on how much less it had to be.
No.
Something that you've already broken into at some point.
Even like this sock that's knit out of a full skein of yarn, if I use a mini, then this would still count, right?
Yes, definitely.
Even though I am. So really, you can pretty much
put a mini in your project.
Yeah. Find a way to throw some minis into a project and you're good to go.
Yeah, we didn't want to count the people who are working on long-term big mini projects like Beth's sweater, or a lot of us are working on blankets. So we decided that if you get 50 grams of yarn into your project as an entry. So if Beth gets 100 grams of yarn in that sweater, but she doesn't finish it, she still has 2 entries. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Let us know if you have any questions, because we're kind of still working on it, figuring it all out. We have until October 1st. That's what you're about to say, wasn't it? The start date's October 1st. Yes. But whips count. Whips do count. So you can go ahead and start casting on.
You enter by filling out a form that will be available.
That's an airplane. I'm about to give up. So yeah, we'll have, I think we've already posted the Google, I think Michael posted the Google form. We're still having trouble getting links into our stupid show notes on YouTube, but he's posted the entire URL. So worst case, you can copy and paste it into your browser, and there's the Google form. But we're not accepting entries before the 1st because it starts officially on the 1st. We are partnering with our good friend Heather Bunniphish of the Bunniphish Crafts podcast. So she's also a designer and has lots and lots of designs that use partial skeins and scraps and minis. And if you use one of her patterns, it counts as 2 entries. I'm going to be knitting on her Scraposaurus socks with some mini skeins I've been saving for quite some time. So I'm really excited about that.
And anything you already say about the double entries?
Yes. Yeah, so double entry if you use one of Bunnipish's patterns. I think that's it.
And we had a whole like kickoff crossover episode, so you can go watch that if you want to.
Yeah.
Just prizes are, I have not put together prizes yet. Oh, and that reminds me, I've been in touch with like many, possibly all of the people who won prizes, and we've been back and forth, and I told everybody that I would get them out this week, and that was before Aspen got sick, and then everything's been really complicated since then, so I do not have the packages out yet, but I'm hoping to have them out. I want to say tomorrow, but like Monday at the latest.
I think that's fair. Tomorrow's Sunday, so
never mind. They'll go out Monday.
Monday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same here. School was hard, but I've got everything ready to send to my person. I got the 1 package to send out. How will I ever manage? I plan to get that out on Monday also. Yep. So yeah, if you entered has everyone got in touch with you?
Everyone who had to like send us their ranking, for sure.
But there's some other prizes too.
But there were those like bonus prizes, and 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure that all of. I'm not sure.
Okay, so if you entered the Knithon, you might want to go back and watch our mini-sode to see what you won.
Yeah, because everybody won.
We're all a winner here.
You're all winners on the Serenity podcast. Even the hosts.
Yeah, we did pretty well.
Tracy's prize is just sitting right over here, so I haven't mailed that yet either.
That's okay. I bought myself a prize, not knowing that was a prize, and I wore it today. Oh, yes, we're all winners here. So we have a few prizes together already. I have a set of minis, and I found a bag to go with the minis, and I left it over there, so I'll show it next time. But it's perfect because it has a rainbow, and it has our our Firefly Serenity logo, and it matches those minis perfectly. So I got that together, and I have 2 full skeins with minis to make. I have a shawl set and a sock set as prizes, and Heather is going to be giving away it's an advent calendar, but it won't be individually wrapped because you'll be getting it after Christmas, because our next long runs through the end of the year. So starting October 1st or heading all the way out to December 31st, that you can use up those advent calendars and do all those awesome advent projects. And yeah, so she's going to be sending out a certain shade of green advent calendars as a prize too, which I'm really excited about. Sounds really cool.
I was just thinking I have a whole drawer of fabric scraps, like really little pieces that I saved from, because I'm like, oh, I could do something sometime. I should make a project bag out of only scraps.
That would be spectacular. Now you just have to find time to do that.
Oh, speaking of time, here's another boring real life thing before we let you all go. So I'm doing this, our whole elementary school is being trained on this literacy reading intervention kind of thing. Like I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be amazing, but it's apparently very, very intensive. And I misunderstood and thought that we were being given time to like watch all these videos that we have to watch and do all the reading we have to do and like all the little homework pieces and whatever. But that's not how it works. Well, actually, that's originally how it was supposed to be, but then the people who are putting it on nobody actually understands what's happening. So
sounds about right.
That was the original plan. Like, we're going to give you this time to like do the work in your school day, and we're going to get you subs and whatever. Well, now apparently that's changed. So anyway, I am going to get paid for it, but it's on my own time, and I have to get 10 hours of stuff done before the 22nd.
That's 11 days.
Yep. So I've been, trying to think of how I'm going to do that. I even brought my bubble cardigan to work because I'm like, ooh, during my prep time and after school, I can just sit there and knit on this and watch these videos and like take it in and do my thing. That didn't happen because other things needed to be done.
Yes, I no longer have prep time or after school. Yeah, it's been rough. 2021's been a rough year. 3 weeks in. Little face.
I have a visitor. You want to come say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
I heard you've been sick. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember my friend Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've been talking to her in here this whole time.
Well, I didn't hear you come down the
I'm
stairs.
sneaky.
So am I.
I know you are.
That's how I laugh every time.
We're both good at sneaking downstairs.
Yeah. It helps their dehumidifiers and washers and dryers and all the things running.
Sometimes we work together to make decorations to put in our house.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Well, would you like to come to my rainbow unicorn birthday party?
I would love to.
But instead, I changed it into Rose birthday party, and me and Mom will work on the cake together.
Oh, that'll be great.
You only have to wait like 5 more months.
Oh, okay. My birthday's always on Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. If I had good sense, I would have hit stop recording when she said bye. Then we wouldn't have to say it.
Yep.
She is?
Yep.
Where's she?
Oh,
It's got kids all over the place.
she snuck downstairs.
Did she even sleep?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay.
So, can we have an apple?
Yes, you can have an apple.
I'll run upstairs.
Okay. Last weekend, I often nap during nap time too. Real talk. And I was sleeping, and apparently, so Aspen has quiet time downstairs, and she'll like watch a movie or whatever. And sometimes she falls asleep, sometimes she doesn't, sometimes she plays. And Lulu sleeps in their bedroom upstairs. And I guess Lulu decided that she was not going to sleep up there, so she came downstairs and slept on the guest bedroom on the bed. And I'm like, who's even in charge around here? So apparently everyone's up snacking on apples.
You have good kids.
Yeah. And you can tell Aspen just hates seeing herself on a screen.
She said she's having a Rose birthday party?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that is her latest obsession, is her birthday party. And we've already had a rainbow unicorn birthday party, so I'm not really sure what she
invited me to last year's birthday party. That was
Yeah.
sneaky. Well, I guess I can't make it. Oh. I really should have hit the button when she said bye. So we would have to say goodbye.
We We can just say it.
We're going to say it. All right. Until, what, 2 weeks from now?
Mhm.
All right. Until 2 weeks from now. Bye.
Bye.
Can subscribe. Yay, subscribe. Did you hold the button?